This is my beloved and beautiful wife, Rachel. Together we are talking to fast people, the internet's only YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making some lunch, and after we eat, perhaps we'll go outside and do a little mortaring, a little ponding. But we need to eat some lunch first. Both Rachel and I are a little bit hungry, I think. So, why don't we make our way into the kitchen and have ourselves a snack? First things first, before I make lunch, we don't really like this melon very much, so I'm going to chop it up and put it in the compost pile. And you know what? Let me try a different approach to this. Alright, we're going to put this in the compost along with these things. I'm going to just chop it up real small so that it composts faster. Tastes like a watermelon. It's a cross between a cantaloupe and something else. I'm not sure what, but it tastes a lot like a watermelon, but it's not very good. I don't know. Rachel and I are a little bit picky about our fruit. The peaches we've gotten and been ripening over here in this box, well, they've come out fantastic. I'll probably try the pineapple as a side dish maybe for our lunch here. I can even chop it up and include it more properly in a dish, but alright, so all of this melon is going in the compost pile along with this other food waste here. So let's go take that outside of the compost pile. We'll come back in and work on lunch. Hello there, carrots. I cut a watermelon today. It's funny how anyone who buys a watermelon doesn't want to be the one to cut it up. Well, I don't mind cutting it up. I'm kind of picky about fruit. If it's not great, then I don't really want it. Sometimes you get a really good melon, but this isn't one of those times. Hi, Fly Guy. Yeah, cutting a melon doesn't take you a long time. But yeah, you get a lot of food with the melon, so it better be quite delicious, or else you're not going to really want to eat that much of it. Alright. That's good for now. You should see Carrot cut turkeys. Yeah, well, it's a good idea, Carrot. Remember, rule number one when cutting anything is don't cut yourself. No matter how much you think is going to be beneficial to cut faster, if you cut yourself, it's going to ruin the whole thing, whatever it is you're doing. Then you're going to be all like, ow, and bleeding all over everything. Dummy. I left the cutting board outside. I'll be right back. Meantime, you can watch Rachel. Alright, I'm back. And I'm washing this cutting board off. Wash this off too. And then you just put back into the cabinet. Right here. Alright, cooking rice. The first order of business is cooking rice. How are we going to go about doing that? Well, we're going to need a pot. Specifically this pot, which I use for cooking rice. And we're going to need the lid, which is right here. Now we're going to need a cup of rice. So we'll get out the 1 cup measuring cup. Hi Kim, how are you? 1 cup of delicious rice. Here's the rice. Here's the cup. We're going to pour the rice into the cup as follows. Alright, 1 cup of rice. Pour it into the cup holder. I'm going to make Spam with this rice, so got the Spam out too. Now we're going to, you're a little high, so life is great. I could get a little high myself, wouldn't hurt. 1 cup of rice, that means 2 cups of water are required. We'll put this over here. We'll get our 2 cups of water to go into the rice. 1 cup. 2 cups of water. Okay. Put the cup measure back in, and we'll get a big wooden spoon out. We're just going to jostle the rice around, make sure it's spread out evenly, and that all the grains of it are submerged. Go to jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Put it over here on the fire. I'm going to turn it on for 8 minutes. Now, let's prepare this pan, which we're going to use in cooking the Spam. So we'll need to wash this. To wash a pan, for those of you who've never done so before, you start by wetting it with moisture. There we go. Once your pan is nice and moist, put a little bit of soap on it. Then we're going to scrub like this. Round and round we go. Where she stops, nobody knows. Okay. Pretty good. Now that the pan is clean, we're going to set it over here. Okay, setting it over here. We can now begin to work on what's going to go into that pan. It's not just Spam. We're also going to cut up some onion to go in there. So I got this onion here. But actually I'm not sure I'm even going to cook the onion. I may just put it in raw. Chop it up fine and put it in raw after I cook the Spam. I won't start the Spam until after the rice comes to a boil. We've got more compost stuff here. Put it on that. All right. I'm going to chop and slice, slice and chop. And we're going to spend some time to make sure this is chopped up nice and fine. I kind of want to get a Cuisinart food processor, which can make a lot of these tasks a lot easier. Okay. That's getting chopped up pretty good. All right. So now that we have that chopped up pretty good, and scoot it back into a pile. You can use one more chopping. That's good enough. All right. Alright, you know what? I've changed my mind. Let's just go ahead and put this in the pan. There's onions in there. Now we can chop up our Spam. We're not going to use the whole can. Just use about half of it. There. Now, put this in here. And zip it up. Alright, now we'll chop up the Spam into small pieces and put it on the onions. Okay. Now it's time to turn down the rice. So, put it on low. And we'll put this on 24 minutes. And we'll put the Spam in here with the onions. And turn that one on. We'll stir these around as they get started. Render a little bit of the fat from the Spam. And we'll put it on simmer. Just get that started up here. That frying. And we'll take a pause from this.
Mina wanted you to say hello, but she kept on spamming, so I timed her out.
Hi, Mina. How are you? Timed out, I hear. Alright. Still hasn't really started to cook yet. Let's see what's going on here. Lose the can, man. Better have those fingers curled backwards. I don't understand what that means. This is the first real thing you're eating today, huh, Rachel?
Yeah, it is. I've been living... So far my day has been coffee and weed.
Yeah. Basically my day, too.
Oh, yeah?
What's a bite of melon?
Yes, plus vitamin melon.
Sweat those onions in here with, remember Eric, always cat's paw, never dog claw. What does that mean? Oh, when you're chopping stuff? I chop pretty safely. Okay. That's starting to sizzle. Put it on lower flame. Let it go for a while. All right. That's a good start. I wonder if we've started doing any better in this baseball game. The Athletics, last I saw, we were down 11-1. That's not a great reality for your team. It's still 11-1.
Oh no.
But at least we have a couple men on and nobody out.
Yeah.
We just got on Blade. What happened? Oh, Blade got a hit. That's good. Who was on before Blade? Is that Kurtz? No, it's Jacob Wilson. Oh, Jacob Wilson gets another hit. That's nice.
They make that movie? Oh, he's the cutest. Crushing the baseball life. Jacob Wilson will add another hit. Another multi.
Good job, Jacob Wilson.
Good job, Jacob Wilson.
Now it's up to Daryl Hernandez. We're still down by 10 runs. So, Eric, how do you pick a team to watch? Well, this is one of our local teams when we moved up here.
Mm-hmm.
Still is in Sacramento, and so we could watch every one of their games. And I don't know, we just decided to be A's fans, and I've tried to start watching the Giants too, but I just can't. I don't know.
It's hard to split time between teams, you know?
Right. Since I watch at least some of every single one of these games, that's a fairly big time commitment.
Yeah, it is. They're our team. Sacramento's really nice.
Yeah, the park in Sacramento was great. We had a good time going up there. I think it's fair to say.
I think so too. Sandy had a good time too. She posted pictures on her Instagram.
Awesome. Hernandez strikes out. Wah, 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 wah. One out here in the 7th. If MacGyver could hit a home run here, make it a 11-4 game, then we just need 4 more in the 8th, 4 more in the 9th, then we'd have the lead. Seems straightforward enough. We're going to grind up the last of this weed from the Indian Meat Store. We still have our backup weed, but we need to go to the weed store. Oh, and 2 now, MacGyver. Hi there, Cherry. Are you cherry as in mint condition? HRU. What does that mean?
How are you?
Oh, how are you? That seems pretty straightforward. I am fine. How are you? I hope you're doing well on this very pleasant Sunday afternoon.
It is a very pleasant afternoon, Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. We are watching the Athletics getting slaughtered, but MacGyver just got a 2-run single. Should have scored 2, I think. Yeah, it's going to score 2. No, it only scored 1. My mistake. Still, now it's 11-2. That's better than 11-1. This is my wife, Rachel.
Yes, I'm 40 years old.
Yeah, she's
and
40.
Eric is 54.
And I'm 54. But yeah, most
It's okay.
people card me all the time. They say, you can't be over 21.
No.
But I am. I'm 54. No, not really.
No.
I don't get carded at all. Nobody doubts my age. Well, Cherry, I'm happily married to my beautiful wife Rachel here, so you're gonna have to like a different older guy than this one. Well, base is loaded now. Yuri is up to bat with some kind of a chance to accomplish something here. We're only down by 9 runs, you know. Okay, Cherry, that's fine. No, I didn't mean to presume. It does happen fairly often, surprisingly. When Rachel streams, she gets it on continually.
What? Oh.
Oh, be quiet, Fly. Hush your mouth, child. That's a strike. Come on, Urias. You're hitting 230. You're just doing a terrible job.
Thank you.
Which outer planet are you guys? Are you Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto?
Which one do you think I am?
I don't really know the difference between Uranus and Neptune.
Uranus rotates on its side and backwards. Neptune is more like gaseous and like nebulous. It's very like, it rains diamonds, I think, in both places.
I think you're one of those two. Maybe Neptune.
Yeah.
You're Neptune because you're deep. Fair enough, Fly Guy. Is Neptune the deepest of the planets? Because it's associated with water.
Probably, yeah.
It's not blue because of water, though. There's no liquid water on Neptune. Here is Jupiter. I don't think Jupiter. Oh, does Jupiter count as an outer
I
planet?
think it does.
Hmm.
Because, okay, there's the inner planets are Mercury, Mars, and Venus.
Then Earth. Earth is before Mars.
Yeah.
So it's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. I
think then
Jupiter, Saturn,
yeah.
Uranus, Neptune,
Yeah.
Pluto.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kevin. Carrot is Saturn because she has 7 orbiting moons. Jupiter is a gas giant. Right. Jupiter, does it even have a rocky core?
I don't know.
Oh, good job, Urias. Way to get hit by the pitch. That's the best thing you could have done at this point, I think. You take that back. You think I'm Jupiter? Well, I didn't know Jupiter was a choice when I picked it.
Yeah, I don't know either. So what do you think, Jupiter or Saturn? Maybe Jupiter than Saturn?
Well, I feel more like a Saturn than a Jupiter because Jupiter is like the biggest planet in the solar system.
Yeah.
Kind of a big show-offy.
Yeah, it is.
Like, everybody get out of my way. I'd like to think I like to be flashy but different. So I got rings
And moons.
and moons.
I like that. I like your thinking because I think you're right. I think you're right. You're more Saturn.
I may one day get the Nobel Prize for moons.
Saturn's really, really pretty. The rings are like pretty colors.
So is the reason why showing your butt is called mooning is it because you could just show one cheek and it'd be half moon, or both cheeks and it'd be full moon?
I guess, yeah, because full moon, yeah. Yeah, it looks like a full moon.
I just half mooned them would mean somehow you just revealed one cheek. Yeah, it's kind of vertical pants.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I guess one of your cheeks would be waxing and one of them would be waning.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Shay Langoliers. Beat that throw out. How? Oh. Que horrible. Double play to end that threat. Terrible job, Shay Langoliers. Terrible job.
Really.
I don't think we got much of a chance to come back and win this game. We're down by 8 runs now. It's a little bit better than 9, but... Hi, everyone, says Jonathan. Or do you say, hi, everyone from the UK? Or are you saying, hi, everyone, I, Jonathan, am from the UK? Probably the latter. Fly Guy, you have too heard of England. Stop pretending you never heard of it.
Oh, calling him out.
It's a perfectly legitimate country in Europe.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Just like, France or Germany. I'd say those are the big 3 Europe countries. Germany, France, and England. And then you got your second level Europe countries. Places like Italy, Austria, Portugal. Now, I guess Portugal's third level. Spain is second level. Italy, Spain.
Italy is not Maine.
No, I'm saying that your big 3 Europe countries are France, Germany, and England. They're your S tier Europe countries. Then you got, things like Spain and Italy, which are among the first ones you think of, but aren't one of the big 3. Maybe you could toss, let's see. Well, I mean, you could put Austria in that group, but Austria may be level 3. Portugal, I think, is level 3.
What about Greece? 3 or...
3.
Yeah.
Poland is 3. It seems like there's only a couple of in level 2.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should just admit them to level 1 and get rid of a level. Italy, Spain, England, France, and Germany.
Yeah, those are,
That's
honestly,
level
those are
1.
the places people go. When you hear about people going to Europe, those are the places they go.
Level 2, you've got Ireland, Greece, Austria,
Mhm.
Portugal. Ireland, Greece, Austria, and Portugal are all part of level 2. Um,
What about like the Bahamas?
that's not in Europe.
Oh.
That was your Chris moment where it's like Western Diamondback rattlesnake. And Dallas says that's not a spider.
Yeah. I'm glad I could be Christy or Dallas.
Me too. What happened here? I thought how did we get to be our turn again?
I mean, it's at least 2 out of the box.
All right, so Colby Thomas got a double. That's good. Now Sodi's up. Come on, Soderstrom. You can do the job. Now you have frozen grapes. Are you trying to talk to me, bud? Bug? It's called mooning because the first known case of someone doing it was Edward P. Moon in 1575 in Ireland. Somehow I doubt that, but I like that explanation. Frozen grapes is when someone's giving you the cold shoulder. I've never heard of it before.
Me neither. I have heard of frozen grapes. My mom would freeze grapes and like suck on them.
Have you ever heard of deviled grapes?
Yeah, I forgot about devil's grapes. Wow, that's a spring.
Yeah, you very gently extract the grape from the skin, grind it all up with some paprika, and put it back in the skin to make deviled grapes. Voted 2025's recipe of the year. You've had deviled crepes. I think crepes are inherently, well, I mean, I guess if you put the crepe part inside the crepe part, then and you ground it up, I guess that qualifies. Well, Sodi advanced the runner to third, but we need more than a run or two at a time here. It's the top of the 8th inning, and we're down by 8 runs. Balua, peel me a grape. Mae West said that to Balua. Who's Balua? And yes, says Race Lever, the moon story was totally made up. I thought as much. That would be one. I guess that would be an example of somebody extrovertedly intuiting, yeah. Of course, I like the idea of a historian sometime in history seeing somebody show their butt cheeks and writing it down as the first ever instance of it. Beulah. You believed it. Wow. I mean, how would such a thing be determined that when the first time somebody showed somebody else their butt cheeks?
True.
In an effort to, I don't know, make them look at their butt cheeks, I guess. I don't know what the motivation behind that is usually.
I really thought it was because, it's round like the moon.
Well, I don't think butts are really that round. They're more like this shape,
like a peach.
Yeah, like a peach. So, I'm going to say we need a better explanation. They don't really have a word for showing the front part of your privacy.
Flashing.
Well, yeah, I guess, but
What is it when you show your penis?
it's called sausaging. He sausaged me. The legend of Edward P. Moon will live on forever from this day forward. I agree. Edward P. Moon is responsible for an important wiki. In 80 AD, Flavius Josephus recorded the first known incident of mooning in the siege of Constantinople. In 1204. The Greeks exposed their bare buttocks. What? They were just butt sunning. That doesn't qualify as mooning.
That's
If you're
what
butt sunning, you're not
Tiffany
mooning.
does?
Yeah,
Can
Tiffany
we
butt
talk
sunning.
to Tiffany about butt sunning?
Yeah, we could. I'd have to get her though.
Oh.
But the gist of it, as Tiffany would tell you, is that your butthole needs sun particles. Because unlike the rest of you, it doesn't naturally get a lot of sun particles. So you got to go outside, spread your cheeks with your hands, and let the sun particles just beam down on your butthole. I need to just go stir the spam and onions. I forgot about them. Which is not usually a good thing. Mooning is like male flashing. No. Oh, god damn it. That's not good. It's alright though. It's fine. Yeah, actually this is going to be just fine. Just have a little bit of this. I'll try to keep the burned onion part off actually. I'll just leave this go for 5 minutes. And let everything rest for 5 minutes and then we'll have lunch ready. In December 2000, California, the California Court of Appeal found that mooning does not constitute indecent exposure and therefore does not subject the defendant to sex offender registration laws. An Australian idiom, to chuck a brown eye, is synonymous with the act of mooning. Moon has been a common shape metaphor for the buttocks in English since 1743, and the verb to moon has meant to expose to moonlight since 1601.
Can I have my rice in a bowl?
Yes.
Thank you.
You don't want any of the meat stuff? Is that what you're saying?
No, cause bowls are easier to hold
You
for
want
me.
this one? Or you want a deeper bowl?
That's good.
I'll use this one. Okay, so. Alright, well, we gotta wait a few minutes for this to be. So, anyway, people. Just because California approves of you mooning doesn't mean that I do. Okay? Three minutes. Let me go to the bathroom. Rachel, I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Hi, everybody. What you all up to? Have you mooned anyone today? Since 1979, the annual mooning of Amtrak has been an annual tradition in Laguna Niguel, California, on the Saturday of July, where many people spend the day mooning passing Amtrak trains. Hi, Winston's mom. I told you it was because it looks like a moon. I thought it was because it looks like a moon. We were in agreement on that. But it's inconclusive. Do you think people who drink black coffee are evil? I do to save calories and to not have sugar. I thought we all agreed to tell everyone we know about Edward P. Moon until one day we hear back from strangers. Oh, sorry. Yes, it was Edward P. Moon. 1575. Cool, Winston's mom. Happy to hear it. Some people say that anyone who can enjoy 400 milliliters of bitter, disgusting black juice must be evil. My mom drinks black coffee for the same reason. That's so funny, Carrot. Yeah, like I love it with coffee creamer and milk. It's delicious. It tastes like cappuccino, but like I can feel it in my body when I have too much of it, because I'm a big coffee drinker, so I'll be drinking a lot of sugar. So yeah, me and your mom could share, and Mrs. Mom can share black coffee. I'm addicted to coffee with chocolate almond milk and agave. Interesting. How do Italians drink coffee? We ought to emulate them. I think a lot of Italians drink espresso.
I don't know how Italians don't all have constant heartburn from drinking red wine, espresso, and pasta sauce.
That's a good question. Maybe it's a trait that they developed.
Maybe.
Eric's spam and rice is so good. Yeah. It's so good.
We'll see.
I know it will be.
In fact, count our deliciousness chickens before they're hatched.
Okay, you're right. I get excited. I'm sorry about that. It's my idealistic tendencies. Ooh, carrot. I want ladyfingers and espresso. That sounds delicious. If we ever meet up, we should go to a place that has ladyfingers and espresso. at some point. I don't know anywhere around here that would sell ladyfingers. Espresso, maybe. I'm sure there's places that have espresso in town. Come on, butt.
He's just gonna break out again.
No. I feel like it's a curse. Like the more they like in baseball, the more money they put in, and the more years like that happened with Alex Rodriguez and the Yankees. Like they put a lot of money into him, and then like he like would strike out all the time.
Yeah, well, it's tough to know what you're getting based just on how they've done so far, because people are always adjusting.
Every P. Moon's Coffee and Ladyfinger shop has them. It's right in the middle of both your locations. Oh, really? So I guess the middle is either, I don't know for Canada what that is.
Did you get the soy sauce too?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. This game's about over. We lose.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible job, everybody. Terrible job. Hola, amigos y amigas. Me llamo es Eric. And I'm going to taste these delicious foods right now. Edward P. Moon, he's really involved in a lot of different of history's big events. People don't talk a lot about this, but you know that Columbus's navigator was Edward P. Moon.
Wow.
If it hadn't been for him, they would have all been lost at sea. But Columbus didn't want that part of the story told, you know. Yeah, it's spam and rice. And onions. It's delicious.
It's delicious.
Spam goes really well with rice. At least that's what I think.
I think so too.
What did I have for more? A fried egg on top of the rice would be perfect. Well, we don't have any eggs.
We hardly ever have eggs because they go bad.
Yeah, we don't use them that often. Oh, he did that too, huh? Oh, he's been around.
Wow. Everything wrong.
Also hear that the signers of the Magna Carta, they borrowed his pen.
Wow. Is that your main source of protein, carrot? Eggs? Or you just like them?
These 6 grasshoppers have as much protein as 1 egg. There are a lot of fires close to Napa. Well, as far as I know, there aren't any super close to us. We did get a few drops of rain last night, and we're scheduled to get rain tomorrow afternoon and Tuesday afternoon as well. They named the celestial moon up in the sky after him. They had previously called it Earth's satellite. Have I changed my opinions on Noam Chomsky? No. I don't know, Putty Cat. This is rice and spam. I guess we're good. What's the end of this? Stanford White again today. No, it's not porridge. It's rice and spam.
Mom, why came back?
Yeah. I only serve porridge to the orphans. I have a little bit of it, not that much, but it's I kind of burn the spam a little bit, but it actually tastes good this way.
Still good, yeah.
I look well nested in that chair. The world has undergone a nuclear war. I mean, don't you mean if the world were to undergo a nuclear war? Would I remain in my position? Probably not. It takes a lot less than nuclear war to get me up out of this chair. So I'm done eating. I'm planning on going outside. No, we lost 11-4. Pretty cat. Thanks, show media.
You too, Maria.
I'm trying to enjoy it with both my mouth and my stomach. Yes, full cup of rice. We just split it. I don't know if Trump will go to Russia or not. Yeah, I know. We play Tigers tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. So, that's 3 more losses for the Tigers. I mean, I don't think Trump should be cozying up with Putin and negotiating concessions from Ukraine for Putin. That's ridiculous. It's one of the things about which Trump's very wrong. Namely, the U.S. should be supporting Ukraine, not brokering some sort of compromise. It's like, hold on. What's that? You can't steal this guy's all of his stuff. I'll broker a compromise where you get to just steal some of his stuff. Fuck that noise. It's just wrong. But Trump's got his own approach to things. Whether or not it's wise for him to go, maybe it is. I don't know. No, I think the U.S. should get involved on the side of Ukraine.
Yeah. That's what America's all about.
It's like it seems to be this failure in understanding history. Like when Ally gets attacked by naked aggression and fundamentally autocratic country like Russia, then that's where it's appropriate for the U.S. to use military force. And there's always this other circumstance where it's not, where it's like people can't make a distinction or something. I get that it's hard because it's like we should have won the Korean War and we should have stayed out of Vietnam. Well, I think that's what you'd call an appeal to perfection. Because America's never going to have things completely okay, perfectly solved domestically. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't engage in, say, international diplomacy, talking to other countries about things, or coming to agreements about certain kinds of things that are necessarily international issues. Well, I just don't think the current administration is doing a good job of representing American values or interests internationally. Yeah, DGCS, serious problem. Okay, well, the point is, there will be various international things happening that the U.S. will unavoidably take some stance on, even if it's just ignoring it, right? That qualifies as having a response, lack thereof, to it, you know? So, history will continue to demand some kind of response or lack of response from America regarding various things, and it seems unwise to say, let's reject engaging in any of those things or determining whether we ought to on its merits, but instead apply this general rule of disengagement. It's a tricky issue, you know, like how much do we want to be giving foreign aid, for example? I'm much more inclined to say, when appropriate, send the military and have boots on the ground than, well, let's have some haphazardly where we give them weapons or, you know, etc., or support them from behind the scenes. What are my thoughts on the U.S. using nuclear bombs in World War II? I think it was justified. If the Japanese didn't want us to use nuclear bombs, they could have surrendered any time during the long firebombing campaign that we executed against their cities. You know, the Japanese could have avoided those cities being firebombed too. They could have avoided all kinds of casualties by surrendering. The idea that the U.S. is to blame for using nuclear bombs in World War II. Somehow, you know, it ignores the obvious fact that the party responsible for ending World War II, namely for surrendering, was Japan. They could have done so at any time.
Mm-hmm.
And the nuclear bomb didn't even push them into surrender. Really, it was the declaration of war on Japan by Russia that pushed Japan to surrender to the U.S. because Japan didn't want to be under Soviet rule.
Wow.
I think they knew that things weren't going to go well if the Soviets were in charge.
Wow.
Same thing that happened in Europe. The Germans didn't want to be captured by the Russians. They wanted to be captured by the Americans or the British. So Hawaii is in the lead, but Stanford's moving the ball here. This is a game from yesterday, one of the a few games that were on this weekend, week 0, as they call it, of college football. It just always has a few games each year, one of which is in Dublin, Ireland.
Mm.
It was Iowa State beat Kansas State. Do you show media? Well, just let it happen. Oh, I was almost intercepted. Now that I've eaten, I think it's time to go outside, back. I don't believe there was any potato giving after the game, no, but we could recommend that to them, then possibly for next year. Itchy eyes, huh? Oh, maybe I have that side effect. Maybe I do. 3rd and 3, Stanford picks up the first down. If I had eaten outside, I wouldn't have to go. I wouldn't have had to go anywhere. That's true, but I would have had to deal with flies. Ain't nobody want no flies on them.
Ain't nobody want no flies on them.
Flies is just lies with an F on it.
Yes.
I keep showing Andrew Luck, who's GM of Stanford, general manager.
Oh yeah.
Basically the athletic director.
Wow.
Everybody's kind of expecting Stanford to somehow turn it around because Andrew Luck is
Really?
helming the ship. But of course, he doesn't. He's not the coach. He's picking personnel and I guess trying to pay attention. No, I don't think I'm gonna watch that game. Pretty good. I think I'm going outside. So maybe mix a little mortar. The Red Sox are wearing green jerseys. Maybe they think they're Notre Dame. That's odd. That's not among their colors. Is it St. Patrick's Day? Did they move that to August, maybe?
They have the green giant.
The green giant?
Yeah, it's a big.
Oh, you mean the wall?
Yeah.
The green monster.
The green monster. Yeah.
Well, maybe they're wearing the green jerseys in honor of that.
That's the only thing they could think of. I mean, there are a lot of Irish that live in Boston, but it's not really. I don't think it's an Irish holiday.
I don't think so either. August 24. I don't know.
Maybe that's when the leprechauns were born.
Yeah, maybe it's Leprechaun Day.
You're my leprechaun.
Thanks, beautiful wonder.
You're welcome. Can you pour some weed into my...
Mm-hmm.
It's blessed with your nose oils.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Which are probably concentrated THC, I'm guessing.
I think it is.
I'm not sure how Stanford got the lead back all of a sudden. Let me see what happened here. Green is part of their New City Connect collection. In other words, a marketing gimmick to sell merchandise. I see. Because green is the color of Boston, therefore they get to have that too as a company, I guess. New City Connect collection. Wow. So Stanford answers, I guess. Good to know. Let's see what Hawaii can do. Frozen peas, I'll tell you, if you go snorkeling in Hawaii and you bring a bag of frozen peas, the fish will all come around you because they want to eat the frozen peas so much. True story. Footy Cat confirms it is linked to celebrating the Green Monster.
Oh.
Good in eye, Rachel.
Thanks.
The fish, I don't know. I remember getting the carrots. This is baseball is boring. They should call it wait. Wait to get the bat. Wait till the ball is hit to you. Wait for the umpire to make a call. Well, I mean, it's a turn-based kind of game rather than a flowing real-time game, you know. I like it, but I only like watching my baseball team, really. You know, I wouldn't watch a random baseball game very much. What's going on here? Footy Cat says baseball takes the most skill and strategy. Race Lover says it's mostly guys standing around and matching outfits. Well, I think that's true of all sports, the team sports. They have matching outfits. Waiting around in matching outfits. Well, that's true. There's a lot of doing nothing in baseball. But, you know, if you're the pitcher, it's a different story. You got to throw ball after ball. 4th and 8. Hawaii's going to punt with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Rely on their defense to get it done. Great punt. Yeah, if you're the catcher, you're busy. Denver's going to try to run out the clock here, but there's too much left. Waiting for some guy to throw his balls at you. They're not his balls, okay? They belong to all of us. Well, yeah, I mean, I would say basketball is a less strategic game than, say, football or baseball. The strategy in baseball is very much between the pitcher and the batter, but there's also strategy like positioning people where they're most likely to hit the ball. Basketball is kind of more about just individual athleticism. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Stanford, only down to the 40. I thought that had gone for further than that. Stanford's about ready to put this game away. 1st and 10. They're running. He spins out of a tackle. Gets first down and more. They're already almost in field goal range. And there's 6 minutes left. But Hawaii can afford. Oh, picked off. Hawaii gets the interception. Now they've got the ball up back with 6 minutes left. The toughest of all sports is curling. You think it's even tougher than shuffleboard? I think the hottest new sport in many decades is pickleball.
I haven't played it.
I never played it either, but I went from never hearing of it or about it to hearing about it all the time to being in commercials for gyms and stuff. Chess is the most strategic sport. I don't think that qualifies as a sport per se. I mean, it's a competition game. It's a sport in the same way that debate's a sport, you know. It plays out competition-wise like a sport, but it's not athletic at all. Table tennis is fun to watch. Oh, Hawaii, big game. You know, they used to have a sport in the Olympics called life saving, where I think you had to like go in the water and get somebody who was limp in the water and carry them ashore or something. Chess is technically a sport. Okay, well, I mean, I'm down for that. I call it classification because I get why debate is a lot more like a sport than it is anything else. Having been a competition debate coach, you know, it's zero sum. If you're gonna win, everybody else has to lose. They have a boxing chess combo sport, I know, where they box around, then they play a certain amount of chess, and they box another round and play a certain amount of chess. If you're seeing like a team chess game where everybody dresses up as one of the pieces, and then like if you're dressed up as a horse and you go like this, you have to jump over somebody else. That just seems like something the French aristocracy would do. Bull riding should be an Olympic sport. What about dolphin riding? Everybody who competes in that has their own pet dolphin. You know, they have dressage as an Olympic sport. Why not dolphin riding? Well, I'm gonna agree with you, race lover. Let's not. Oh, is that a touchdown? He's out of bounds? Oh, he's out of bounds. I thought that was a touchdown. So you're not in favor of adding cat juggling? Race lever? Or turkey decapitation? You're opposed to both of adding both of those? What about breakdancing? You're opposed to that too? Me too. I say, let's not have breakdancing again in the Olympics. Robot bull riding. That sounds fine. You aren't worried about the robot's well being. Only evil cats get to be juggled. I don't know any evil cats, although we definitely have a bad cat who's, well, he's kind of evil. You think Charles evil?
He's just bad. He was evil when he had his balls because he would harass Capio because he wanted to hump her. He was kind of evil then, but since his balls have been chopped, he's less.
He's kind of a super big baby, but that, you know, evil is kind of babyish. To be that interested in doing harm for no reason.
Yeah,
kind
he
of like-
still does fight with Capio.
Yeah. Whereas Capio, she's not trying to have conflict with him.
No, look, she doesn't want to have conflict with anyone. And he's always looking.
Yeah. He gets his big eyes. Big eyes means you better watch out. You're about to get scratched. Field goal, tie game. Well, this is a good game. Look at this.
This is a good game.
2 minutes left. Tie game. 2020. Let's go forward a little bit. Past the commercial. All right. Get fixed and see if I get nicer or less evil. I'm going to pass on the getting fixed, I think.
You're just so bad. Like, I had to throw my slipper at him because he was that, like, what do you call that? Like, stalking? I don't know. He would just, like, be like, I'm coming to hump you. And she'd be like, crouching away from him, and he'd get closer and closer and closer to her, and I would be yelling because that's how he used to respond to me yelling at him, and he would go away. But this one time he was just not. He was like all about like getting it on, and I had to throw my slipper at him to get him away from her. It's pretty bad. He was bad.
He's still bad.
Yeah.
If we let him, he would still bother Capio a lot.
Yeah, he still does.
Okay, well maybe he was just trying to attack her. Regardless,
He was.
he wasn't being friendly.
No.
He wasn't being a good friend with a healthy relationship with another friend.
And she didn't know what to do. She was like caught. I had to help her.
Yeah. You know, Trouble is the kind of cat that I believe anyway. He's the one who killed that full-grown possum.
Yeah, he did. Oh, hell yeah, he did. He absolutely 100%. I forgot about that. Trouble is fucking trouble. Honestly, his name is so of him.
Yeah. But
Gross.
he's also the world's biggest baby.
What?
He's also the world's biggest baby.
Yeah, he is the world's biggest baby. Meow. Meow.
He's extremely talkative. He has a whole symphony of different meows that he uses to communicate different things to us. Sometimes, he'll try different approaches to get us to go watch him eat. Sometimes he'll sound all like, meow. And sometimes he'll be like, meow, meow. He's a smart cat. Rachel and I believe him to be an ENFJ. He's got a lot of FE. It's weird how people are so afraid of raccoons and possums. I'm not afraid of raccoons at all. Possums are gross. I'm not inherently afraid of them, but if I were to come across one of a sudden without any warning, I would startle me and I go, ah, whereas a raccoon, it might make me jump a little bit, but then I'd be like, oh, cool, a raccoon. Big difference between raccoons and possums. What is this? I don't have my glasses on, so it's kind of a long bug, though. I'm not saying anything deserves to be killed. Maybe you shouldn't have cursed him with the name Trouble. Maybe if you called him Mr. Polite, his life would have turned out differently. Maybe. He was Trouble even before we named him, I think. What kind of bug is that? I'm going to attract them to the pond. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not, I'm not interested in interfering with creatures as they get things that they need, like water and stuff. That's fine. Cool bug, huh? Yeah, it's a long one. It's an Indonesian long bug, is what it's called, I believe. So once this game is over, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to do a little bit of ponding. Probably keep stream going while I do that. Should be shaded down there now. Hawaii gets the ball back 2020 with 1 minute and 33 seconds left. So let's see what happens. That's a very rare moon. First discovered in 1575 by Edward P. Moon, of course. Oh yeah, I'm not controlling like that. I'm a big softie. I can't. I don't do very well with killing things in general. As long as things are outside the house, then they and I can mind our own businesses. I hope the pond is a welcome resource for the local wildlife. But I also hope that if we have goldfish, that the goldfish don't get eaten. But we could also maybe have crawdads. I think crawdads would be good. Sometimes called mud bugs in the South. Yeah, well, I don't kill nothing, but basically it's flies and mosquitoes will kill. Flies when they come in the house, well, then they've just got to go. I'm sorry, but no, they're not allowed to stay in the house. And mosquitoes that land on me, I'll smack them, no problem. Yeah, well, we always try to rescue the lizards and mice that the cats bring in the house. I don't like them killing those things. But what are you going to do? I think the only animals that people should be killing are animals we raise for that purpose, like pigs, chickens, cows. It's hard to put flies outside. Flies are notoriously stubborn about staying right where you don't want them to be. And the thing is, how did you get flies in the house in the first place? You opened the door. Now you're proposing to open the door again to let the fly out. If you just go in and out of the house real quick, open and shut the door, then pretty good chance you can avoid getting flies in the house. If you're leaving the door open so that a fly will leave, well, it's just as much a chance that a fly is going to come in. No, it's fine if we raise domesticated meat animals for meat. They wouldn't exist if we weren't raising them for that purpose. I mean, I agree. In natural environments, we should. And at the same time, we had termites when we moved in here in the kitchen walls. And we obviously called termite people to kill the termites because we don't want our house eaten up into nothing by termites. No, I'm not saying farmers invented cows. I'm saying, what would the population of cows be in the United States if we didn't eat them? It would be the existing population minus all the meat cows, leaving only the dairy cows. Are you saying we shouldn't make dairy cows either? So the actual population of actual cows living in the United States, they live because they're bred to be raised for human consumption. Not like we're not India, right? There wouldn't be herds of cows wandering around the streets being invited in to sit down at the dinner table and stuff. Like, for example, if you told all the cow farmers right now, you can't farm cows anymore, you can't sell them for meat, you can't butcher them or whatever, then nobody would breed any more cows. The value of cows would plummet. Nobody would want to buy any cows. Nobody would graze cows on their land. They'd graze something like sheep or something else they'd get some utility from. So now all of a sudden, you're responsible for the population of cows plummeting. And the cows that people currently have, well, they can't afford to just take care of this herd of cows as pets. So, I have a feeling some accidents are going to happen to those cows. Oh, Jesus, this again. His favorite fixation. Self-defense and protecting your home isn't the same as attacking needlessly. I'm saying no sentient being should be exploited and enslaved just causes harm to everything, including us. Well, it's more of a symbiotic relationship, I think, between domesticated animals and human beings. Cows, they don't need to be taught to return to the barn at night. They go out and graze and come back to the barn all by themselves. Um, I would certainly agree that some modern factory farming methods are bad and that we ought to ensure the animals that we farm have good lives. Ensuring a decent quality of life for the animals is different than prioritizing sanctity of life for the animals. And it's a it's a relationship that humans and animals have had together for many thousands of years. Regardless, the point is the reason the humans have had these cows breed with each other and make more cows is because they plan to eat them. If they weren't going to eat them, they couldn't eat them, they wouldn't make more cows. And cows in the United States would basically go extinct. Unless you're allowing dairy cows. What do you think about dairy? Are you okay with that? Let's see here. Bet me about who brought the topic up fly. Put your money where your mouth is. I don't think I brought it up, did I? Did I bring it up? I think. I don't remember how it came up. Well, I think you said you try never to kill anything, and I said I kill flies and mosquitoes. But I don't know. I don't remember exactly how it came up. Wow, Hawaii won in the last second on a field goal. Eric thinks he's on the wide and right side of this topic. He isn't. I mean, I don't think I'm on the wise side of anything. I think I'm just correct about, well, yeah, I guess I'm on the wise side about this. It's not really an issue of correctness because animals don't have rights, be they wild or domesticated, so it's not a rights issue. Dairy is just a meat industry. Male cows don't produce calves, and it's also kidnapping. They steal their babies from their mothers. Oh, okay, so you're opposed to dairy as well. What about eggs? You okay with eggs? Because, yeah, how about free range eggs? Like, I don't think the chickens want to be off in the wilderness by themselves, trying to fend for themselves against myriad predators in their just utterly prey bodies that they have. They're just obviously things that people eat. No, I got you. Males don't produce milk. I know. Um, that's because they don't feed any babies. So there's no need for them to produce milk. Their nipples are just for show, like ours. Like male human beings' nipples. What has everybody got their head down about? So what you're saying, race lover, is that you think we should genetically engineer male cows to produce milk? Are you sure about that? Alright. Now this game's over, I think I'll head out back and maybe do a little workout back. Look at my glasses. Turn this off. Get my glasses. I'm gonna go think about doing something outside. Not feeling super motivated. Kind of feel like a nap, but I would like to get something accomplished today. Are you staying in here? Alright, you take a nap. I might join you in a little bit. We'll see how much I feel in this outside stuff. Yeah, well, just because animals don't have rights doesn't mean that humans don't have responsibilities regarding the welfare of that which they, what's called animal husbandry. To have rights, one has to have an abstract ability to understand and respect the rights of others and to incur liability for rights violations. So since animals don't have that ability, they can't have rights. Rights is a human means of judging moral issues that requires language, to be responsible morally / legally for your behavior requires you to be of sound mind, which is to say able to use and understand language and to know that what you're doing is contrary to a legal or moral code. The ideology itself is harmful in the long run. Well, environmentalists would argue that the most environmentally friendly thing for people to eat is chicken. You get the most calories per, yeah. Well, no, it's not bad reasoning, race lover, because you got to understand that rights are best defined. A right is that which confers a duty. Okay, so do mentally ill people have the duty during a psychotic break to not commit a crime? Yes, but if they do commit a crime, we don't hold them criminally liable because we recognize that on some level they weren't responsible for their behavior. Similarly with small children, we don't hold them equally criminally liable because they're not as capable of moral reasoning, certainly not capable enough of it until a certain age to be held liable criminally. So yeah, there are examples of human beings who don't really have rights because they can't adhere to duties or understand the morality or lack thereof of their actions, so we don't hold them responsible. No, it requires the least amount of exchange of natural land for farm space and stuff. But that's fine. You don't have to agree with that. I mean, that's not the reason why. That's not a reason why people should eat chicken anyway. It's just what an environmentalist would argue. If they were genuine and honest about understanding the myriad impacts of farming, different kinds of farming, and the consequent caloric output of the farm compared against that overall cost package, then chicken's the best. But it doesn't matter if you agree with me or not on that. That shouldn't be a reason to convince you of anything. There's no reason to prioritize inherently environmental sustainability to the expense of, say, control over one's property and such, you know. I think it's fair to say that a vegan in contemporary society would be pretty happy with the way things are going, because meat is expensive, you know. What if they're not having a psychotic break according to your logic? They're just not intelligent enough to understand such things. You know, so if you're saying they are mentally retarded, that qualifies as a mitigating factor that eliminates one's criminal liability. So, yeah, mentally retarded people aren't generally considered criminally liable for their behavior. That's why when a mentally retarded person masturbates on the bus, they don't get on a sex offender registry. I mean, that is that's how things do operate. That's exactly what it says. Like, I give you a perfect example, right? Okay, if you're still disagreeing with me about the chicken thing, it doesn't matter, right? I just pointed out that some of the environmentalists who are honest about the actual cost-benefit exchange of various things they could farm or not. That's the honest truth of the matter. If you don't like it, that's fine. You could Google it yourself. That's fine. We can pretend it's not true. It doesn't matter. That's not definitive in the argument either way. It was just something I mentioned. All right, see you later. So anyway, people have a lot of passion about things that they care about, you know. Makes it difficult to explain things because they don't care about why they're right or just that they are. They don't care about why or if they're right, just that they are. Because it's a fundamental not getting what it means to be right. You're hungry, huh? Well, you should eat something. Maybe have a vegan sandwich. Get 2 slices of vegan, 2 slices of bread, and 2 slices of cheese. I'm not feeling especially motivated, but I really want to. I'm feeling like I want to get this stage of things done, but I've got sitting inertia. You have McDonald's half block from you? I mean, overall, I'm glad it's hard for us to get food on the fly because it makes us eat at home a lot more, it saves money, but sometimes I really miss having convenient drive-through. All right. guess I'll mix up some mortar. And then maybe I'll finish up down there. Put a few rocks. I'm not quite sure what to do as far as the rocks on the bottom. It's a well-managed one, huh? Good McDonald's. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the time I went to the Carl's Jr.'s that had ice in the urinals. You want to talk about sparkling Carl's Jr.'s. They should use that as like the example Carl's Jr.'s for the other Carl's Jr.'s to follow. Alright. Well, I guess we're mixing mortar. You might say, Eric, really? Are you really mixing mortar? The answer is going to be yes. But before we mix mortar, put this hat on. Keep the sun off our head. Okay. And then we will need to go get a bag of sand. Let's go get a bag of sand with the dolly. Well, actually, we've got enough for at least one batch of mortar sand right here. Alright, so let's get started. Let's get started on the mortar. Sand. Lime. Got some lime there. Last but not least, the star of the show, cement. Okay. I'm going to finish this cigarette before I get too far along. Actually, I can put my gloves on now. Alright. I don't really like those gloves I was wearing yesterday because they're a little small. I'm going to put on this glove. Nice, nice. What in the actual cool hat's going on here? I'm doing a little ponding, is what's going on. I'm ponding like Jimmy Pondo Seed, who was Johnny Appleseed's friend. Instead of planting apples, he made ponds. How many ponds must a man make before they call him a man? The answer is 1. A man must make 1 pond, which is exactly the number of ponds I will make in my life. This is going to be I'm confident, my only pond. Just 1 pond is plenty of work. Okay. By standing over here, you get to be in the shade, which is a preferable place to work than in the sunshine, as it is rather hot in the sun outside, though it's not so hot in the shade. Alright, I'm going to do a full batch of mortar, and it's 4 jars of cement, so we're going to start with 3 jars of water. 1, 2, 3 jars of water. Then we'll get our 4 jars of cement. One, 2, 3, 4 jars of cement. Now, 2 jars of lime. 1, 2. Now we're going to mix it up. Alright, let's add a little more water. Let's add another jar's worth of water. Okay. Now we need 16 jars of sand. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. 8. I've got 8 more to go. Let's give it a stir. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need more water. That's good. It's pretty good and thick. Okay, now we're going to put a little bit of water in this blue bucket. Okay. Got this, we got the mortar. Hi, Crystal Lynn, Dawn Day Chief. What am I making? No, I'm making a pond. I'm making a pond, and it's really quite a production, but it's coming along. You know what they say on Cheers? Making a pond in the world today takes everything you've got. Yeah, you're not wrong. It is a lot of work. More really than I bargained for. But I'm learning a lot about certain processes in making this. And right now I'm finishing up this bottom pool with mortar. And I'll probably put some rocks today as well. Some of these spots are fine as they are, you know. Oh, I didn't bring a little broom down with me. Well, that's okay. Let's just finish up like up over here, clean it up, and then we'll worry about what's next from there. Okay, so up here is going to be above the water line, but I still want it to look smooth. Okay, pretty good. Now I'll get the brush and smooth it all out. All right. Okay, good start. Okay, now this stuff here. we've gotten that part done. All right. Get right here. Then I'm going to have to get a broom or maybe even a shop vac. Okay. All right. Now, let me get this all smoothed out around here. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna get a rock or two here. Like this. Maybe this. And then get another scoop. Okay. Where's the other rock I got? Oh, it's right in the bucket. Alright. Try this one now. Okay. Let me get. All right, well, what do I get here? Pretty good spot for that. To get some lines up here. Okay. Good start for that one. Let me get something over here. It can get a little difficult sometimes. Okay. And brush this away. All right. All right. Okay. So So we'll fill it. Okay. Now let's get a rock for this. Something like this, maybe. All right. Move that out. Push that up against there. Okay. Now, all right. Let me get over here a little bit. Scooper, that's why. Get the right scooper. Now, okay, the rock. Okay. Put a few more rocks here, but okay. Let's try this bad boy. Okay. I'm making some progress here. Okay. Okay. Let me get right here. Okay. It's pretty good. Oh, there's a spot over here. Okay. So I've got a little bit left. Where should I put it? I could go down here. That's probably a good place to go. Okay, put some right there. That would be a good place for that. Okay. Okay. I only have a little bit left. I think. I guess I'll put it here. Let's see if I can put a rock there. God damn it. Stick. Alright, that's just gonna have to wait. That can go in there. Good. Alright. Good enough. Hmm. All right. That's one more bucket of mortar. I think I got this whole thing mortared up pretty good. I just need to go fill in some rocks. Which I may use some silicone for some of that. Get a bit of a headrest standing up there. Alright, cool beans. That'll do for now. Pretty pleased with that. Okay. 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 There. I got my glove up. Hooray for Hollywood. Hi, Crystal. Trying to have a waterfall point in the pond? Yeah. That's what's going on. I had cement, then mortar, which I'm also adding rocks into. I'm using some silicone. Or perhaps silicone. Hi, I'm Eric. I've been working, but now it's time for a break. Well, it's a pretty ordinary Sunday evening. You know, as that famous song says, what you gonna do on a Sunday evening? Write some terrible songs about lemons. Stand by the lemon tree. Well, I don't have a lemon tree. It's true. I'm lemon tree deprived. But pretty soon I won't be pond deprived. I want to make some uploaded videos. I'm not actually feeling especially motivated to do so, but I have a general want to do so. You know, in the absence of much traffic here in the streams for a while now, I'm inclined to maybe shift to more uploaded videos. Not that upload videos necessarily do well, but some of them do, depending on how I title them and stuff. I was thinking about how, on some metaphorical level, I guess, um, introverted functions are ways to negate or to maintain the status quo. Knowing what the status quo is, it's NI. Knowing what has happened up until the status quo, it's SI. Determining what is, what validates logically in the status quo. In other words, preventing affirmations from proceeding if they don't validate. That's TI. And then negating affirmations if they don't validate against personal interest. That's FI. So every carbon function stack is really two conscious pairings of ways of affirming and negating. I guess one would imagine that I'm by nature more affirmational, but in practice I tend to be more negational because I have TI as a tool function. Anyway, I think it's been perhaps more of an undertaking settling into our life up here than I think maybe either of us anticipated. It's very different from living in Los Angeles, obviously. It's wonderful up here. I love it. But it takes a while to get accustomed to exercising agency meaningfully in the absence of some external structure. I'm glad I'm working on this pond. I'm glad I've made so much progress on it, but it's probably not the kind of project I'm meant to work on. Maybe it's what I needed to do to ground myself physically a bit. I don't know, gardening helps with that too. I feel rather less old today after getting a good amount of sleep last night than I did yesterday with my elbows hurting and just feeling tore up across the board from sleep deficit primarily. Which really has remarkably broad impacts on you physically. Makes me short of breath more quickly, uh, just generally feel like my muscles are weaker. You wouldn't think lack of sleep would have anything to do with that, but it does. That grapefruit juice is satisfying. Squeezing from the freshest of grapefruits. Florida's natural grapefruit juice really satisfies. It's a lovely still evening after being breezy earlier. I'd say it's probably mid 80s right now. Might be a little warmer than that, but it doesn't feel too bad. Feels pretty comfortable. The neighbors have their air conditioning on. We remarkably can typically go all day without the air conditioning on. We house stays pretty cool down on the first floor. We turn it on to sleep, but it usually cycles off pretty quick. Friday the 5th, I gotta go to the dentist, get 4 tooth roots pulled. Not looking forward to that. But, it's gotta be done. I kind of am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to moving forward on this whole stuff. And getting my teeth fixed. That'll be nice. It'll make me feel good to be able to enunciate without paying particular attention to how I articulate, lest I get too much sibilance. And then, it'll be nice to apply for a job too. Maybe kind of an ideal job would be working in the lobby of a hotel, checking people in, whatever, I could go whatever hours. What are we ponding today? Yes, there was ponding today. I finished mortaring the bottom pool. I still need to do some rocks down there, but I'm pleased at the progress I made. Just need to go now all the way back up the stream, mortar that whole thing up all around, and then put rocks there. Then I'm done with that part. Which is basically means I'm done. We'll have to see if it works, To actually put water in it and make sure it works. We'll find out. I'm not going to get a pet turtle. Wasn't planning on it anyway. I am thinking it would be nice to get a couple of crawfish and put some crawfish environment bottom in the top pool, for example, where you have sand on the bottom and some little structures for them to hide under and stuff. See if we could get a breeding population of crawfish going. Of course, we'll have to get a pond heater if we want to keep them alive, or they're going to freeze during the winter. I think we'll end up attracting a good amount of wildlife as well, who are going to want to come drink from the pond. Animals are like that. They like to drink water. Well, I mean, it doesn't require a lot of me except to just sit there and wait for people to show up. And, I'm down to work whatever hours, so it's like I could work graveyard shift just fine. That wouldn't bother me. My sleep patterns are all over the place anyway. So, I don't know how many hotels around have graveyard. I don't really want to have to go all the way down to Oakhurst, but I could. I could even, in theory, commute to Merced if it was just like three days a week or something. But I'd like to get just a job as like some kind of a clerk. Would be simple enough. I could just go to work and have experiences and go home and not have a lot of responsibility or anything. Not have to make a lot of decisions. But working in a liquor store would be fine. I don't know. We'll see how difficult it is to find jobs and what's available. My resume is not going to be particularly relevant to anything, but I interview well, and I'm a good employee. There's no reason not to hire me to do something. Hmm. I mean, I don't really want to teach again. Teaching's Teaching takes a lot out of you. I could coach debate again in theory, which is different than teaching. But that's another kind of downside to that. That tends to be quite time consuming. If you're a regular tournament competitor as a team, then you've got a lot of prep, a lot of tournaments, a lot of practice, a lot of stuff to deal with if you want to win. And you got to bring the energy and the intensity level. Happy birthday to anybody that's autistic. Oh, that's everybody. Everybody these days. Delightful egg. Yeah. There are other possible things I could do in theory. Like, in theory anyway, I could devote myself to making a lot of like daily typology video. It's gonna get decent views and advertise the typing service. See if I could get even, if I get one typing a day would be plenty. You smell like octopus tentacles? I don't know what octopus tentacles smell like. I've not spent much of my time smelling tentacles, octopus or otherwise. Tentacles, I believe, is the Greek god of suction cups. Thanks, Eliana Diaz. I got them at the supermarket. These are fine supermarket sunglasses, or regular glasses, I mean. It's weird how I never seem to scratch my reading glasses, but I always scratch sunglasses. Anybody else have that experience? My sunglasses cannot stay unscratched for more than 5 seconds. Maybe Delightful Lake can just tell how they smell by looking at them. He says yes, but they look like they smell like chicken. Everything that doesn't taste like chicken smells like chicken. Except, ironically, chickens, which neither smell nor taste like chicken. Well, I don't know if it's really going to happen, but we're supposed to get rain tomorrow afternoon, the next afternoon. We got a little bit yesterday, afternoon and evening. Not enough to get things really wet, but enough to see the pattern of droplets on the ground when you came out in the morning. Your grandma smells like corn, huh? I scratched my eye once. It was not good. Hey, don't scratch your eye, no matter how itchy it is. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. It was literally so freaking hot there today in Mariposa when I was getting brunch. Oh, you came to Mariposa to get brunch, huh? Wow. Did you eat at the Happy Goat? I did not know McDonald's delivers. But, you mean outside of Uber Eats and DoorDash and stuff? I'm quite confident they don't deliver up here. They'd have to drive all the way from Oakhurst. I didn't get into it very much. I watched an episode or two of it. I didn't like it that much. Everybody's kind of about it, but I don't know. Didn't do much for me. I watched a couple of good cartoons today, though. Tomorrow, there are no good cartoons coming out. Nor on Tuesday. So, I guess I'll just have to do something more productive than watch cartoons. Oh, you did go to the Happy Goat. I mean, you said brunch, that's what I figured. Yeah, it's pretty pricey. The barbecue is good, it's also pretty pricey. The only place in town that's not very pricey is the Mexican restaurant, the the one up near the top of town, not the Americanized Mexican restaurant. Oh yeah, you started Clevitis? I love that one. I think it's fantastic. There's another one I really like called like Magnamore Civilization of Ruin or something. It came out today. It's really good. Kay Sum Liu says she won't let me eat it. She forced me to go to the goat place. Oh, well, how was it? The Mexican restaurant up near the top of town, which is an actual like Mexican restaurant. You know, it's your regular classic American Mexican restaurant. Uh, it's got wet burritos, enchiladas, you know, all the normal things. The American Mexican restaurant has got like boutiqueified Mexican food. When am I going to go to the garden to perform with Rachel? Um, that should be actually this upcoming week. There should be a open mic. Maybe we'll go. Who knows? Maybe we will. It would be good to get out and do something. I'm not feeling especially creatively fertile right now, but oh, you will? Maybe we'll go. I'll talk to Rachel about it. Even if she doesn't want to perform, I could go and perform. I don't know if I'm gonna feel like it on what day is it, Wednesday or Thursday this week. I might feel like it though. You and Eliana Diaz? Yeah, you can stay at our place. I already invited Eliana to stay at our place. I don't know who you are, but I know Eliana well enough. I feel comfortable with that. She won't let you stay there. Okay, well, I trust your judgment, so I guess you're not allowed. Why do you have a habit of arson or something? You spent $1,000 on a hotel. You should have stayed here. Hotels in Mariposa in the summer are expensive. Very expensive. I didn't know how expensive they were until we had our wedding here and people told me about it when they came to attend the wedding. It's like, wow, that is pricey. Get away, fly. You got to see the thunderstorm, huh? We didn't see any lightning over here, but heard the thunder. Okay, I guess I'm done working outside for now. Coming into sleepy week, so yeah, I did not invite you to the wedding. I'm sorry. I must have just overlooked you somehow. It's not even hot out, really. It's just got Spuddy working. Oh. Have I seen any bears? Yes, we've seen bears. We've seen a couple bears here and there. I probably had a very close encounter with a bear that I did not see, but I heard it and realized something very large was right there. It was pitch black outside. I was smoking a cigarette. I kind of scampered back into the garage. Saw a bobcat 2 days ago. We see a lot of turkey, a lot of quail, deer, obviously. I saw a dead fox on the road maybe a week ago or so. It was the first time I'd ever seen a fox up here, but unfortunately it was dead. Okay, my hands are washed. Let's turn on the old computadora, as they say in Spanish. La computadora is what they call it. It means the computer. Yeah, I'm bilingual. How do you determine sleepy week? Oh, it's when I run out of Adderall. I take a break every month. I do my bottle of Adderall in like half the time, and then I take a week that's just sleepy usually. But I kind of come out of Adderall time already catching up on sleep. Like by the end of the bottle, like last night I got a lot of sleep. You get diminishing returns because it works on the dopamine that well, you know what, Eliana Diaz, it sounds like you're really fucking up here. You are fucking up royally. You've got a friend who has a bunch of 20 milligram Adderalls. Well, I am your number one customer. And you didn't even bother to introduce us. Eliana Diaz, what is wrong with you? Oh, ridiculous. Oh well. I guess that's just opportunity lost. Let's make lunch and more. We've been doing this since lunchtime? Wow. Wow. If you don't take them all, I will buy the extras off of you. Dual survival shipwrecked. Okay. All right. There's nothing wrong with ESTPs, all right? My daughter's an ESTP. I like these videos, Icy Road Madness, caught on camera. Oh, it's fine. No, I'm not a cop. I've never been a cop. But more important, ESTPs aren't a bunch of like filthy animals or something. I like Icy Road Madness caught on camera because, I don't know, it makes me laugh watching these cars. They're trying to stop and they're very slowly sliding into things. I am the type police, yeah. Like, you guys should put chains on your cars. You wouldn't crash so much. "20 days trekking around the world's deadliest mountain." Opening a 1970 sealed vintage pack of 20 grand cigarettes. Dreams he smokes reviews makes me want to get some old vintage cigarettes from eBay. Yes, he is an INTJ. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna turn this off, watch a little bit of TV, take a shower, and pull a couple bowls. So thanks for being here, everybody. Love you all. See you later.